Here in Fletcher in Henderson County along Asheville Highway, take a look. You don't see a container moving like that across the road every day, and that is just how high the water has gotten. And this stretch right before the Fletcher welcome sign here, just not far from the Fletcher exit off I-26, that container moving at its own pace into this field, which we saw earlier, and now those water levels are rising even higher over here as well. So all that water that started over here has seemingly overflown into the road, and now there is just no chance for anybody to get through. And there is a power line down there as well with another tree blocking the roadway over here. But obviously the eye catcher here is what we first showed you right there. Just look at that. Just, you can see right in that room, and the damage is done on the corner of that home. And there's some other trees around here which we've seen wobbling a little bit as we were getting ready to come on the air. This branch swung right by my head. It came right behind me, didn't hit me, I'm okay, but you know, these winds, they are howling and the rain is not slowing down. But just look at this water flow right here. Not so far up to the bridge, but still just a lot of liquid, and still there is this traffic flow, but it's also being deterred because if you look to the right here, I don't know how well you can see it, but we got trees down on Hendersonville Road that's slowing some of these cars down. That's completely blocked off the right side of Hendersonville Road down here in Fletcher.
See, this was my grandparents' farm, their land. I was born and raised here.
It's been peaceful along the river for Carolyn Slagle for 30 years.
We was home. We was home till the river got up to almost to the house.
But after Helene,
it's just done. It's gone. Water, it came from across the river, came into to the door. We left and went up to my niece's. It was almost knee deep.
But before Carolyn and her family were able to try and save what they could,
but we've been down here trying to save some of the stuff that the water got.
Someone got there first.
We came back this morning about 8, and somebody had broke in and they have destroyed the house. They've took a lot of stuff, especially my brother's. We just lost him 3 years ago. He was old Fort fireman. They took a lot of his stuff that he had, that we've had, and he was just, it's just devastating. I don't know why they want anything he had.
Just when Carolyn thinks she's lost everything.
So what's in the boxes there?
It's a warm meal. My friend there, Becky, I work for her. She has been a total angel.
Chicken, beans, she's my family.
That's right.
She's my family. She was family before. She was family before the flood hit.
Becky's been delivering meals to Carolyn and her family for days.
It's the only thing I can do. We're just running around with nothing to do, and you've got to exercise your mind and get out and help other people.
And when all is lost,
how are we going to rebuild and repair ourselves?
Carolyn and Becky know
we're alive.
That's right.
We got each other.
That's right.
We're alive. That is a positive note.
If you're interested in donating to help people like Carolyn, there are multiple links on our website, WLOS.com, specific to helping people in this area. In McDowell County, at DiOrio, News 13. That's right, Holly. That was the emphasis of the press conference earlier today here at Asheville Regional Airport. Governor Cooper made a few stops in Buncombe County, most notably Mission Hospital, Asheville Baptist Church, and one of the feeding stations downtown that was handing away food earlier today. Governor Cooper and his team, along with FEMA and other state, federal, and local officials, are going to be in the Asheville area for the foreseeable future. And Governor Cooper confirming with News 13 not too long ago that, as you mentioned, Holly, President Joe Biden will be here as well on Wednesday to assess all things from that infrastructure damage to the cell service and the power outages.
The devastation was beyond belief. And even when you prepare for something like this is something that's never happened before in Western North Carolina. Search and rescue teams are continuing to work. We even talked with some people who are still hoping to get and talk with their people, and as phone service comes back up, we'll know a little more.
You'll hear more from my conversation with Governor Roy Cooper and more information from this afternoon's press conference later tonight on News 13. Live at Asheville Regional Airport at DiOrio, News 13. Bridges that stood for decades destroyed, gone in these small waterways that are now filled with wood, debris, and even big containers right behind me. It's all happening in these small towns, and there's no word as to when outside assistance will get here, so the help is coming from within. Towns like Weaverville, North Carolina don't know what normal is right now.
Never thought it was going to be like this.
Some people were stranded.
Yeah, there were trees on Hamburg Mountain on both sides of our road. It's the only way in and out is the one little road.
Some people still aren't. But you and your neighbors, I mean, are you okay? This is how it could be for who knows how long. So those who make up Weaverville aren't waiting.
We got a generator going. We were able with some lanterns.
The prescription pad, a Main Street staple, has been scrambling to help hundreds get crucial medication.
But we're giving everybody at least a 5-day supply of their critical meds, of what they need.
And they're reaching beyond the drive-through window.
The Weaverville Fire Department has been great to help us deliver medications to people that we can't get to.
Not everybody needs meds, but everybody does need food.
We started to just cook food for our immediate family, but people saw the doors were open and they just started coming in, and so we just started cooking more and more and more food and just kept putting it out.
As Main Street Grill is giving away what's left in the freezer, they're collecting even more.
Yeah, we'll have a table here, for people to drop stuff off. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And we just got our parabat.
Have a little place for people to drop off non-perishables for people who needed it as well.
A community coming together to make a new normal.
You know, this is a small community, but everyone helps each other, and yeah, it is a source of pride to be a part of that right now.
Tammy, what they told them was that there are programs in place and funds available to help with the images that you see behind me and that we've been seeing for days. What's behind me here in the River Arts District is the Summit Coffee Company, and right next door to that is 12 Bones Smokehouse. These are two of the locations that the SBA stopped by earlier today. SBA Administrator Isabel Casillas Guzman and company made multiple stops in Asheville, and they told me that SBA recovery centers have been and will continue to be set up in and outside of the Asheville area. Guzman also added that the SBA is here for the long haul. The administration was here not only to assess the damage themselves, but make sure that the owners of these shops and others know that SBA programs include things like 30-year terms, low interest rates, and first year no interest as well as the many options in disaster relief programs. Once those businesses get their applications in, the SBA's focus now is expediting that process.
That's what's important, is to get these loans processed, to get the applications going so that we can disperse dollars, so that businesses can have assurance of funds to come and the ability to rebuild, or acquire that architect, or acquire that building permit.
The property owners here on Foundy Street in the River Arts District also told me today that they will do everything they can, whether it's through federal, state, local resources, to help find more dollars to help get these shops back up and running. Now at 6, you're going to hear from the owners of the two shops I mentioned, what their minds have been going through since Helene struck, and if the possibility of rebuilding is a possibility at all. Live in the River Arts District tonight, Ed DiOrio, News 13.
I've been telling people, everyone who's been asking about how I'm doing and how our colleagues are doing, is that every day we have seen something worse. You go from one day where a home is damaged by a landslide to the next day there's an 18-wheeler tractor trailer truck flipped over in a little creek. How does that get there? And then the next day you see, and you can see some of the images we've collected here, just things like that.
It's unbelievable.
And with your own eyes, that somehow looks worse. These are little towns. This isn't close to Asheville, what we're showing you here. This is from our more rural areas. I mean, look at that. This is our rural areas like Yancey County, Mitchell County, Rutherford, Chimney Rock. These are places that are an hour outside of where we're standing right now. Asheville has gotten a lot of attention, and rightfully so. There's a lot of people that are affected, live here, and make their livelihood here.
But these small towns, even on a normal day, it's hard to get to some of these towns.
2-lane roads. And when that road goes away, how do you get there? For days. And communication, we had people calling into the station after the storm hit, and we still have people from California, Florida, all over the country saying, I have a 80, 90-year-old parent who lives in Asheville. Are they okay? And how do we answer that question? It's because they don't have cell service or power. And I talked to a county official yesterday who said that they rescued a family and they only had a granola bar when the storm hit, and for 3 days they rationed that until they were able to get some food and supplies. These people behind us are doing great work, and there's so many people doing great work here in the area. And so, but the point of why I wanted to show this video and mention those rural counties is that all these resources that we're getting and all these donations, we're all grateful for it, but we need more because there's so much ground to recover. And these places are going to take, in some cases, years to rebuild.
And when you look at the destruction, it quite literally looks like a bomb went off in so many of these areas. And that's why the recovery is going to be so tough. Absolutely.
One of our coworkers described his house and his neighborhood as a war zone. And then I drove through it the other day, and I would call that an understatement. That's how it is in so many parts. And you're right. They're still in the cleanup phase, in the recovery phase. Who knows how long the relief and the rebuilding phase is going to take. So that's why these donations can't just be this week.